Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Today, we are diving deep into a political storm brewing in Limpopo, one that's shaking the foundations of the ANC from the grassroots up. In what many are calling a major act of rebellion, ANC branch members in the Mopani district have publicly voiced their frustrations with President Cyril Ramaphosa's leadership. But it wasn't just words, they broke into liberation struggle songs, passionately calling on none other than former President Jacob Zuma to save them. That chant, "Zuma, save us," wasn't just a protest slogan, it was a plea, a political cry that reveals just how fractured the ruling party has become. Now, let's unpack what's going on here and why this moment is so significant for South African politics, especially as we head toward the 2026 local government elections. Limpopo has long been considered a key stronghold for the ANC, a province rich with historical ties to the liberation movement. But under Ramaphosa's leadership, many in the province, particularly in rural municipalities, feel increasingly abandoned. Service delivery backlogs, municipal corruption, and chronic underdevelopment have left residents disillusioned. Add to that rising unemployment, failing infrastructure, and accusations of elitism within the current ANC leadership, and you begin to understand the depth of the resentment simmering in communities like Mopani. So when ANC branch members in the province publicly rallied behind Jacob Zuma, an ex-president currently leading the new MK party, it sent shockwaves through the party establishment. It wasn't just a call for Zuma as a person, it was a symbolic protest against Ramaphosa's perceived failure to lead with the populist urgency and grassroots engagement that Zuma, for all his controversies, once embodied. Let's talk about those chants, "Zuma, save us." These aren't random slogans. They echo the liberation rhetoric that has long defined ANC internal politics. In fact, some political analysts argue that these public displays are a coded rejection of the technocratic and corporate-friendly style of governance championed by Ramaphosa. To many in rural areas, especially those living with the daily realities of poverty and marginalization, Ramaphosa's leadership feels cold, disconnected, and out of touch. What makes this even more explosive is the fact that this dissent is coming from within the ANC. These are not opposition voters or civil society activists, these are card-carrying ANC members publicly turning to a former president who has been highly critical of the current leadership. It's a major sign of internal collapse, or at least, serious ideological fragmentation. Now let's consider Jacob Zuma's role in all of this. Despite facing multiple legal battles, and despite the ANC officially distancing itself from him, Zuma remains an incredibly popular figure in many parts of South Africa. His return to public life through the MK party has reignited his base, and his message of radical economic transformation, anti-elitism, and traditional values continues to resonate with disenfranchised voters. And here's the kicker, this isn't just a momentary flare-up. The timing is everything. The 2026 local government elections are just around the corner, and Zuma's presence is casting a long shadow over the ANC's electoral prospects. The MK party, even if it doesn't sweep the polls, is threatening to bleed crucial votes from the ANC in key provinces like KwaZulu-Natal and Limpopo. And let's not forget, every vote lost to Zuma weakens Ramaphosa's legitimacy within his own party. So, what's next for the ANC? If Ramaphosa's leadership continues to be perceived as aloof and ineffective, we could see a broader grassroots rebellion in other provinces as well. And while it's unlikely that Zuma would be welcomed back into the ANC fold, his ideological influence, and the threat of further electoral disruption, will be impossible for Luthuli House to ignore. There are also rumblings of deeper factionalism within the ANC. Some insiders believe that Zuma's growing popularity could embolden other disgruntled figures within the party to challenge Ramaphosa's control after 2026. Others fear a potential split, where regional structures begin to operate semi-independently or even openly defy national directives. At the heart of all this is a question about what the ANC really stands for in 2025. Is it still the party of the people, rooted in grassroots activism and community upliftment? Or has it become a bureaucratic shell, more interested in power than progress? This is more than a political dispute, it's a crisis of identity. And the fact that ANC members in Limpopo are turning to a man the party once considered a liability shows just how deep that crisis goes. Zuma, with all his flaws and controversies, still holds something that Ramaphosa is increasingly struggling to maintain: emotional loyalty from the masses. Whether that loyalty translates into votes in 2026 remains to be seen, but what's certain is that the ANC cannot afford to ignore these warning signs any longer. So, what do you think? Is Jacob Zuma making a real political comeback, or is this just a protest movement with no lasting structure? Can the ANC survive these internal fractures heading into the next local elections? Or are we witnessing the slow unraveling of a once unified liberation movement? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update on South African politics. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay informed, stay engaged, and stay critical. See you next time.